Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Magic Arena Run. Today we are taking a look at Midweek Magic. We're starting a bit late. I had an event yesterday. It was pretty fun. I was actually very tired out when I got back home. Anyhow, so Midweek Magic, it's standard Cascade. So basically it's standard with what everyone gets is Maelstrom Nexus emblem. This first spell you cast each turn has Cascade. And since we're limited to standard, we're gonna figure out what is the best deck in standard that you can probably play that takes the most advantage of this, and we apparently have a good option here. Now you probably are also gonna be you're probably tired of the Esper version. This one we just limited it to Dimir because we're gonna get a lot of advantage of it just from the Cascade alone. So we have plenty of 1 mana spells that we are hoping to hit off Cascade, and we have quite a few, and we have this key suite of 2 mana spells to work off it. In fact, a lot of these are meant to get these. So the key is that we're trying. If you haven't seen this in standard, the key is that you're pretty much blinking this super powerful common Hopeless Nightmare. Each opponent discards a card and loses 2 life. We can ignore most of the rest of the text, but the idea is that you keep replaying this over and over again, either by bouncing with Fear of Isolation, bouncing with This Town Ain't Big Enough, which is very good because it also bounces a bunch of other stuff. Like we have our key removal spells that are also enchantment, so we get to bounce it off with this one, also with Fear of Isolation. So it's a pretty much meant to take a lot of those out. We also have Storm Chaser's talent, which pretty much generates most of our creatures. It generates most of our advantage. And we added a few Forsaken Miners just to close things out faster because we're not a pure control deck. We don't have that set up. And also to take advantage of the Cascade, we've added a few copies of FR's Dispersal just in case we run into aggro. This one does Cascade, and this one cascades as a 3 mana spell. And we also added Overlord of the Flood Pits, a way to churn through more cards, get some advantage there. Then the cards that don't usually make this deck, Geralf the Flesh, right? Whenever you cast a first spell during your turn, other than the first spell that turn, so pretty much we're trying to see if we can have the cascade onto the get this one going. Also added a few copies of Intimidation Campaign just to keep the card draw going. Also, we have quite a few ways to commit crimes between the Hopeless Nightmare, our removal spells. Let's see. Yeah, we one copy of Dreams of Steel and Oil just in case there's Reanimator. And we also added a few copies of Sard Springs because we're pretty much if we have a 1-drop it's fine, but we can pretty much get away with just casting things on turn 2. And that's pretty much how the deck goes. Well, during testing, I ran into someone I know, and I already had to apologize to them for playing this deck. Well, in fairness, they were saying that they were playing a kind of aggro strategy, and they had to take a mulligan. So yeah, we saved each other a bit of time, but I did get some good testing information there. People are playing removal, which they should. Cascade is actually doing quite well. I think Cascade into interaction is fine, as is Swamp, as in removal into removal is fine too. So we will lead on turn 1 Hopeless Nightmare. It does have the side effect of showing our opponent the entire deck, and yeah, they conceded right away. Well, okay, fine. Okay, I guess that is. And I guess we run into people that are annoyed enough that but yeah, we will do this all day. And if you're kind of indifferent to this event and you just want to get this over with, this is a pretty good choice. You should get this one really quickly, just off the back of people not wanting to play against another Hopeless Nightmare deck. And some people have been asking, why don't we get many of these events last a longer time? And this is why, because people solve events really quickly. Now, this time we don't have a good turn 1 play, but we can just play the Fear of Isolation as is. I do have the Underground River to go with it. I would like another. Alternately, I Isolation into isolation. I guess that works. Yeah, let's just do it. Okay, we can return this. And ooh, opponent's playing the poison deck. Okay, so not good thing to know. So we did give our opponent something to remove. I'm kind of fine with that. So they are going to be taking their time on this. So knowing that, this actually might be a good counter to this. Like, our opponent can get a 3-drop. They probably just Vraska's Fall right away. They do hit creatures here, so that's something to keep in mind. They do have another removal spell, so that is an issue, but I still have to play Geralf just to... Oh wait, I can just impend this. Now our opponent could just well, they have one proliferate, but no targets quite yet. I definitely want to keep the nowhere to run, so we will pitch our third Restless Reef. And we can do Fear of Isolation, bouncing nowhere to run, since our opponent does apparently run creatures. Cascade into an Augury. Okay. They did find their cost 2 less spell. That's pretty much the strategy. You want to find ways to get your spells to cost cheaper but doesn't drop the... Now, unfortunately, we are kind of missing our other hits. Now, this is Flash, so I will actually hold on to that. I really want to play Geralf, but I'm gonna kind of wait on it. And it's when you cast a spell during other than the first spell, so I can... And this is target creature and opponent control, so we can't use it to snipe our own creature. So I suspect our opponent's gonna draw an Ick or something. Now our opponent can just cast this for oh, it's sorcery, sorry, never mind. Well, they can, no, it's not their turn, they can cast this. They can just drop this, get their good Cascade, and they can, is this also, I'm starting to notice a lot of its sorcery speed, so that might be a weakness there. While a lot of ours is instant, so we get to replay a bunch of it. We can probably still lose to this though. So might as well. We're hitting all our Storm Chasers talent, but when I want to be hitting our Hopeless Nightmares, it's fine. So, and this has to be on our turn, so I'm hoping our opponent actually pass this one. So, I'm hoping they actually drop this so I can play Geralf, play a Nowhere to Run to start generating advantage that way. Well, they'll probably end up killing it, but it's fine. If they hold back, that means they have an instant speed removal, which... No, they're not holding back. We also have the Intimidation campaign. We'll save it for if Geralf survives. Now our basics are... Oh, we have quite a few basics. And a bit of a non-go. The Forsaken Miner, which is fine. It gets us more aggro, but it does give their proliferate stuff more. Oh yeah, then they've also been proliferating this, so we're not getting our Overlord anytime soon. They most likely will kill Geralf. We sacrifice Forsaken Miner because we can get it back. Prologue. Yeah, opponent's trying to get us closer. We can Intimidation Campaign and know where to run. Oh, there's our Hopeless Nightmare. I'm probably not going to get back. So I'm hoping to hit removal. We hit another Forsaken Miner. Yeah, we'll return. Yeah, having it come back is very key for us. And swing. I know it's not enough. Opponent has the means to give us 3 poison counters. Well, that's one. We're probably gonna lose this one, but I can't be too mad. Actually, this is a very good budget way to get around it. Yeah, they can just proliferate the rest of the way. Round. And they just need one more proliferate, and I am dead. Yeah, that's good. That's fine. Can't be too mad at that. They had a very good start on. They had a very good start there. We had a very slow start. We did not have our early 1-drops, but that's actually a good match. I would say that's a good matchup. Actually, having our one air quote sideboard copy be a complete dud. That one kind of hurt us a bit. We really needed the extra punch. But the Geralf was quite nice. It did fill up the board. So this one's semi-awkward. I guess we have 2 turn 1 plays, so I'm willing to go with this. But this is honestly a not very good feat. Like, what I'd like to do is be able to hold up so that I can just cast this town 8 big enough in the succeeding turns. When I'm playing control, fine. Yeah, we just Intimidation Campaign would be a good one, but Fear of Isolation is also. Ooh, opponent is playing Grixis Cruelty, so it's that kind of so it does have their share of board wipes. Ooh, wait, it's gonna be Domain. Right, and Exile, sure. And what do they hit? Up the Beanstalk. That was the other direction I was considering. It's a very good one at that. Now, that said, I can do Fear of Isolation first. Return this. Get our Storm Chaser's talent. Now our opponent could just have a temporary lockdown, which I don't mind. It will hit her up. It will nuke her up the Beanstalk. But I suspect this to be a lot of impending, so this town 8 big enough is actually gonna be quite good once everything takes down. We did miss our land drop though. Intimidation Campaign is very good as a catch up for in this particular event. Is it good for standard in general? Probably too slow. Is target? Yeah, because this doesn't target. This is each opponent. We don't have that many targets per se. Yeah, missing our land drops is really bad. Yeah, I'm gonna pass. They clearly have something on instant speed. Like another Ride's End would be. We'll see what they hit there, but we do have this town 8 big enough as an option. We're just being really patient here. Also, this. Oh, this is not even surveil land. So our opponent is playing, well, but our budget beanstalk. They have to have impending creatures to make this work. If they have their own discount 8 big enough, it's just a get lost. You have a 1-mana spell. That's fine. Yeah, they're gonna. I can cast this one to make them. Yeah, to force them to redraw it. It's our momentum breaker, which is not great, but it's fine. It is something that we can return with our other discount ain't big enough. They do have an Overlord of the Dusk Force. That is the one. This is the one thing I was concerned about. Now I could Fear of Isolation, Momentum Breaker, but yeah, not hitting our lands is really painful here. Oh no, but they're going for the up the beanstalk again first. They do have an Authority, which is one of the ways to stall the deck. Stall it out. Really hurts us since we've been missing our land drops. You know what? I'm gonna go Otter aggro here. Yeah, we really need to hit those lands now. So we're gonna start nuking most of their hand. I could play another Storm Chaser's talent just to get things. Yeah, just get things going here. Now, if they have a ride, if they happen to have a ride and it is what it is, they probably do. Yeah, let's at least we get it out of the way. What do they hit? Temporary lockdown, which let's see if they decide to cast it. Also note that I can use this town 8 big. Oh, they're gonna cast it, so I can use this town 8 big enough to buy some of this back. But I do need to have my own permanent, so that is a bit of an issue here. Yeah, our opponent's just hitting their overlords one after. And I still couldn't hit another land. I'm running the full 24, by the way. I couldn't hit the land to save my life. But I can start picking apart the rest of their hand, I guess. Zur, which is quite bad because that gives it lifelink. I'll most likely have to bounce Zur. Yeah, that's their catch-up mechanism. I would need proper removal for this. Yeah, I can concede this one. I fell way behind by not hitting my third land at all. No, I don't, but okay, that one is just to vent your. It's nice to have a way to vent your feelings there. That doesn't really mean. So lost one to poison, lost one to, well, lost. Let's be honest, that one's lost one to not hitting lands. This one. So I want to just lead on. I just want to lead on the mic. Oh, market node. So maybe I don't lead on the miner. I lead on the hopeless nightmare instead. Ooh, I just saw a gear halt. That's gonna be a bit of a pain to deal with. Definitely need this. I might regret getting the second blue, but I know I have something to impend into. Application power. Exile. Okay, so. Probably just cast the no. I could cast the momentum breaker. I could just cast the momentum breaker first. Hit another 1-drop this way, get things going. Because our opponent wants to exile artifacts to return one with an equivalent better mana value. And this one actually adds mana as well. Or maybe it's just better to add the creature right now. That gives us a creature. But now here comes the case. Do I hit my land drops? The Malacum Synthesizer. This is actually going to be a bigger pain for us now. Thankfully the sequence is it was going to get the lower one anyway, but our opponent's going to start dropping a lot of big artifacts, and we won't. We miss our. I'm suspecting that the Otter is gonna stay in the back to. Well, maybe not quite yet. They don't exactly have these. Clear out the market gnomes, but they're kind of in the driver's seat. This is a very good mana rock. Now they can drop, say, Gear Hulk. Would be really annoying. Well, actually, not too annoying. We have a momentum breaker in hand, so we can kind of buy some time off it. But definitely want hit mana. Our opponent could exile these two to hit the Gear Hulk. No, just going for the Glyph Bridge. Return market low. So we probably keep the. Oh, they decided to take out the token. Oh, wait. It's another hopeless nightmare. Still could use some lands. They now have the mana to definitely. Yeah, but again we're losing to not hitting our lands. What the hey? And I would need to snipe this market gnome for. I would have needed more lands a while ago. Like. And this is 2 mana. They can sack an artifact to get. Let's say they sack the Glyph Bridge. What do they get? What's a 6 mana artifact that gets us? No, they're going for a 3 mana artifact. I'm guessing another Simulacrum. But yeah, this doesn't. Another case of why won't you give me lands? Okay, finally gave us a land. They got the market gnome so that also of note is that we could have held back and just waited on Ifara's dispersal. That was the moment that we would have been saving it for. We'll save it next turn. We can still chump with the token, I guess. Wow, they're really going at it. Into a hover. Okay, we could be dead. Yep. Ah, did not expect the hover shit. The dispersal would have helped. No, lands would have helped for the most part. Just not getting any. Wow, that's 2 games in a row where we just did not hit our lands. I'm starting to suspect the Cascade messes with your lands, so you really want to start with just 3 lands in your hand. You don't. If I see another 2-lander, I'm just gonna mull it right away. I'm already suspicious at this point. That's all. Okay, we got our 3 lands. One of them's untapped, so I probably would still just play Restless Reef turn. Anywhere else? They have a lot of turn 2 plays, though, which is concerning. But which means I would want my turn 2 play to land more. So they're casting up the Beanstalk into a Bushwhack, which is good for us. So we are gonna momentum breaker. Take out their elf. Up the Beanstalk's been doing a lot of work in drawing cards as of late. There. So next turn I mostly likely just hold back for Ifara's dispersal. Yeah, I did keep. They probably have a big no bitter reunion. Okay, not quite yet. So to a land or else. I can see an argument for going this town ain't big enough. In which case we go under city sewers first. Okay, momentum breaker on top is good because we know. I think I can just do it right now. Monster momentum breaker, monster up the Beanstalk. Cascade into our known momentum breaker. As long as we can keep them at 1 creature at a time, we can pretty much buy a lot of time this way. We did just give them another card draw. Okay, they're going Ensuring Vitality into... Okay, so this is where it doesn't quite work. But we can now momentum breaker. I don't want to cast this already, but at least. So we drop our momentum breaker first. So what's this? Right? So it's a room. So they have a room side deck. And this is attacking, so our opponent is probably gonna attack. They also have their own discount ain't big enough, but they're going for the Cascade into another trainer, which is fine. This Fear of Isolation is fine because that lets us buy back our Momentum Breaker. And let's see, we want this town ain't big enough. We want to draw that this town ain't big enough for sure. And we cast Momentum Breaker here. Cast the Hopeless Nightmare. Then end of turn, we're probably gonna decide. Enduring Vitality. Let's see what they cascade into. Torch. Probably just torch our miner, which is fine. Yeah, it's fine. We seem to be cascading into all the small stuff, but I'm fine with that. Now, they will have their own shot at this. They have their own this town ain't big enough. So I'm gonna cast Gerald's Flesh right first. They can nowhere to run. That's actually quite good. Now this might prompt a response. And we are gonna Fear of Isolation. We have a Momentum Breaker already, so I think we get the Hopeless Nightmare. Yeah, so this is the we start going sideways plan. I suspect our opponent's just gonna cast this town ain't big enough, bounce our token. No, they're just taking. I would suspect that they go Valley Flood Color. Okay. This is their way of going sideways. So maybe I should have gotten nowhere to run. Actually, I saw their deck. I just didn't pay attention to this. This one's my mistake. Now we can start getting them up in the air. The Hopeless Nightmare does give us a 2-point hit on them. We're casting up the Beanstalk to get Song, which is a really bad hit. Well, it gives them haste. And it gives them haste and untaps, but that's pretty much all it does. So they were not making rat tokens anytime soon. That said, they're trying to go big on this one here. So you can see their strat. You just need to have enough blockers. Now that said, they can bounce 2 of our they have to cast this, then they have to cast these 2. They could actually just bounce it all off already at this point. Oh, but they spent it on that one. Do they have a way to give trample? That would be the combo. They actually got combo killed here. If another discount ain't big enough. But by this demonstration, they're already... Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Song of Totem Pants is a one-off. Because that would have really wrecked us there, but because the timing was off, they only had these two creatures. So, we just need to deal enough damage. I don't think we have enough damage to deal an air. Not so sure. Give me a second. Hello? Yes? Oh, no. Nanti ka? Oh. 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 Mau buat sa kidip na lang. Ang kidip ba? Wama, si siya nga. Oh. Pero what's it to maintain ka tsue tampo ka hose si gua kidip lo. Gua kwa wat, ini ke wat so siya gua ka kidip ko boss ko ya. Oh. Sige, sige. Sige, sige. Okay. Sige, sige. Binapay ko. Kinapay siyo. Yung singkwi ba? No, because some that... siguro. Pamelo. Okay. Oh. Okay. Man, couldn't catch a break on... I actually did not see how they were able to get haste on all those last ones. I was... Did they hit another? It's not another. They probably had another song on hand. I didn't see it. That's a bit sad. Anyway, we don't exactly have a great turn 2. We don't have a great turn 1 either. So we have to play this anyway. I don't think I need another Overlord at this point. Yeah, we really... Surveil really helps on fixing the mana here. Ironically, the Cascade pretty much powered up every other deck, so let's see. I guess I will play the Forsaken Miner. Start putting something on the board. Start putting something on the board for them to worry about. I guess I can also just cast a Hopeless Nightmare as well. In that case, the nowhere to run was the correct thing to get back. If we had been able to snipe the flood caller, that flood caller that would be it. It just goes to show that being very unfamiliar with the format can be quite painful. We'll swing first. We can cast the fear, get this one back. Opponent seems to have a removal spell. So I probably pitch a land. Nope, I probably don't pitch a land. I probably do pitch a land. they have removal. What is the... Oh, okay. I just saw Bloodletter, so this is Bloodletter combo. So definitely want to hold up a lot. Definitely want to hold up Nowhere to Run for sure. Which might... Okay, which means I regret pitching the land at that point. So we have Dispersal to buy us time. We can use Momentum Breaker if it's like an Unstoppable Slasher, probably Unholy Annex. Can't cast a Cut Down. Our opponent probably just ported. They probably just ported the... Oh yeah, the way Cascade works, no. You're only gonna get access to that. Oh wait, we do get... might as well cast a Hopeless Nightmare. Start picking their hand apart a bit. If they start dropping creatures one by one, that's where the Momentum Breaker shines. Ooh, they're definitely all in the Demon plan. So the Momentum Breakers are gonna be a big deal here. Creature... I guess we do... I hate having to do double Momentum Breaker. I might have to. Well, let's see if we can pick. Let's see if they have a 5. Well, they have not a demon. This one will become a problem. The thing I suspect is that they are probably gonna end up leave. Let's say they cast. Let's say they just go for this one, create the demon. They'll probably start leaving it back. Oh no, they just... Oh, they went for the big Cascade into the end, which can take out my Forsaken Miners. We did get value from it coming back. It's kind of annoying. This one had 4 toughness, so I would not have been able to use Nowhere to Run on it. Definitely want the discount ain't big enough. I don't want the Fabled Passage anymore. Now they could still make another demon. That's where the discount ain't big enough is really important for us. Yeah, they'll probably activate. Yeah, they're gonna... Unlocking a door does not count as casting a spell, so they gave up some equity there. Cast this one, Chaser's Talon. And we might might as well do intimidation campaign since we need to start drawing cards. Okay, we can pitch the Dark Slick Shores. So as long as our we now have actually enough removal to go up against and we just have to remember to hold up mana for this one. This one is permanent, so if they go for this one, yeah, we take 4, but we can still snipe it with nowhere to run, and they know we have it in hand. They're going for a Starscape Cleric with Offspring, but that gets a cut down. That will answer the Otter. But neither of them can block. So I'm suspecting they have another removal spell. They did show Shoot the Sheriff. That would be a very good answer to the Overlord here. I guess I swing first. Let's see if they have the shoot right away. No, they don't, so we do get to draw and discard. They have to have it. Now both of those have been activated already, so I just use this one. Oh yeah, I get to return to hand. And there's Storm Chaser's Talent. So let's see what they cascade into. Ooh, they get to snipe it from our hand. Okay. It's artifact or creature. Now, this doesn't do anything. But what I'll probably do on the... Well, what I'll probably from this point is... Yeah, I still have to hold up nowhere to run. I would love to be able to get this back, but I can't. Okay, let's just say we will lose Overlord. We could also lose Tishana's Tidebinder, which does counter this one. That would be a weird get, but it is a legit get. Yeah, they went for it. Okay. So I get to hold all of these back. I would love to cast this again, but this one is about. This one does combo with this in Starscape Cleric. It does become annoying if they have a much bigger duress. So they're going to take the nowhere to run. We have to do it first. We're hitting all our authors. That's what thankfully, they won't be able to activate both of this. They do want to take one momentum breaker. Yeah, which tells us that. But we do have Fear of Isolation to say get a momentum breaker. But they're just gonna duress everything out of it. Okay. Oh, they take Intimidation Campaign. Okay, so take... They did manage to pick our hand in... Well, okay, they gave up. So I can cast Fear of Isolation. Bring back Hopeless Nightmare. We haven't been hitting our other Hopeless Nightmares, but yeah, that was a give up, right? Whew. So this is not a very so I would say in conclusion that not a very easy format to get the wins out, but you can still get the wins out there. I suspected our opponent would have just activated this. These were not gonna block anyway, but yeah, it looks like our opponent really just gave up there. Anyway, so yeah, we're actually close to an hour. I want to try to get at least one more win. Let's give it a try. Let's see. Let's see if we can get one more win out of this shindig. So I don't mind Dark Slick Shores into Dark Slick Shores. But again, this is yet another 2-mana hand, so I might just lose because of this. Probably an argument for maybe not running 4 of these. A few more basics is not that bad. Also, we might be helping our opponent here, since it's green-black. Or not. Oh no, they're still there, they're still there. They dropped the goal from the throw, so that's one less removal spell. They're really taking their time here. These Fear of Isolations are... The fears of isolation are going to go a long way. Also note there's a reason I'm not running these lands. We kind of have strong color requirements here. We're still missing our third land yet again. But Storm Chaser's talent to balance things out a bit. It does give our opponent something to do with the removal spells. But we did make them pitch 2 of them, so they probably had more. Terra Sunder into a cut down. Okay, look. I've heard the other cards revealed, but that look. Pretty much saw 4 pieces of removal. Ah, Virtue. So this town ain't big enough is gonna be quite important here. Really could use a land, guys. Well, Forsaken Miner's fine. Except, it doesn't really combo with this one. Yeah, this one's saying each is a... Well... This is the case where you would have wanted it to target. We have enough targeting stuff though. And our opponent also did stumble on mana. Hit our target mana. We'll swing first. I kinda wanna play Geralt, it just probably gets killed though. Let's play Intimidation Campaign first. Momentum Breaker, decline. There is an argument for just playing it because, well, we draw Momentum Breaker anyway. Opponent now going for the Trode. Finds another cut down. Yeah, so really loading up on them removals. If I can hit an untapped mana, I would love to play JRL. Well, hopeless. Decline the Momentum Breaker. So at least we still have a 2/2 zombie in the process, but it looks like they might be out. Oh, they have Unstoppable Slasher. Okay, into Overlord. I figured that's what would happen for the most part, but we also did. Okay, now they're catching up to mana. Sniper last card, and second to last card. Then we hold up the discount. Yep, one's given up. I still have the discount ain't big enough, and we would have been able to clear that one up. Okay, that's gonna be it for this episode. It turned out it was a much bigger struggle. It wasn't clean wins all throughout. Mana issues can still be a thing, but yeah, know your battles, and maybe you could persevere with this. That's gonna be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone. Take care.